Have you ever thought about what it's really like to grow older and find yourself completely alone? Not just being by yourself for a few hours, but facing each day in a quiet, empty home, eating meals in silence, and going to sleep without speaking to anyone. It's a reality many avoid discussing until it becomes their own experience, often leaving them feeling unprepared and overwhelmed. But solitude in later life doesn't have to equal loneliness. In fact, there are practical steps you can take now to maintain your mental clarity, emotional balance, and physical health, even without daily companionship. This video explores 4 vital practices every older adult should adopt when living alone. These are not shallow tips meant just to pass the time. They're backed by both real-life wisdom and psychological research. Each suggestion is straightforward, realistic, and remarkably effective. Whether you're already navigating life alone or expect to in the future, this guide will help you approach that stage of life with strength and meaning. You still deserve to live with peace, purpose, and dignity, regardless of your age or whether anyone else is there with you. Be sure to watch until the end, as the final tip may transform the way you view being alone in your later years. It's a perspective that has empowered many seniors not just to cope with solitude, but to truly thrive. Let's begin. Number 1, the importance of a daily routine in later life. One of the first challenges people face when living alone in old age is the gradual loss of structure in their day. Without the presence of others or a schedule filled with activities, the passing of time can become blurry. You might start eating breakfast in the afternoon, lounging in sleepwear all day, or even forgetting what day it is. While this may seem harmless at first, it can eventually lead to confusion, anxiety, and emotional instability. That's why establishing a steady daily routine is so crucial. This doesn't mean creating a rigid or overly detailed plan. Instead, it's about introducing a simple and predictable framework to your day that helps provide clarity and consistency. Begin by waking up at the same time each morning. Get dressed and ready, even if you're not expecting any visitors. Make yourself a proper breakfast, designate a time for light physical activity, and perhaps spend a little time outside. Eat dinner at a consistent hour and aim to go to bed at a reasonable time. This routine isn't about filling every minute with tasks. It's about creating reliability and rhythm. As we age and our social lives become quieter, having a dependable routine can bring calm and order to our days. Experts in psychology often emphasize that human beings thrive on rhythm. For older adults especially, having that rhythm helps regulate sleep, stabilize mood, and even improve digestion and cognitive function. Consider the example of Walter, an 81-year-old man who felt lost after the passing of his wife. With no one around, the days felt formless and foggy. But once he began following a simple routine, starting with making his bed and opening the curtains each morning, he noticed a shift. Eventually, he incorporated regular walks and evening tea into his schedule. These small acts gave his days a clear shape and brought him a renewed sense of peace and purpose. Living alone doesn't mean your days have to feel empty or unstructured. On the contrary, a consistent daily rhythm can be one of the most powerful ways to maintain mental sharpness and emotional well-being. It's a quiet, personal form of self-care that might go unnoticed by others, but can make a world of difference to your inner life. Even small, repeated habits can act as anchors that provide stability and help you navigate solitude with strength and serenity. Number 2, gentle movement for a healthier body and sharper mind. One of the subtle but difficult challenges of aging alone is how sedentary life can become. With no one to motivate or join you, your days may slip into a cycle of stillness, moving from your bed to a favorite chair, walking briefly to the kitchen, then settling into the same seat for hours. Over time, this inactivity takes a toll. Your joints grow stiff, your muscles weaken, and your sense of balance starts to fade. Eventually, even simple tasks like standing up can feel like a burden. But here's an encouraging truth. You don't need a gym, an intense workout plan, or expensive gear to stay active. What really matters is consistency and a willingness to incorporate small, gentle movements into your day. These little acts of motion make a big difference, not only for your physical health, but also for your emotional and mental well-being. Regular movement, even in modest forms, helps maintain strength and mobility, and it also positively impacts your mood, memory, and cognitive clarity. Actions like walking to your mailbox, stretching while the kettle boils, or standing and sitting a few times in a row from your chair are simple yet powerful. They remind your body, I still need you. Research shows that consistent light activity in older adults can reduce the risk of depression, improve sleep quality, and even help slow cognitive decline. Take the story of Eleanor, a 78-year-old woman living alone. After losing her husband, she became increasingly inactive and felt tired all the time, despite resting. Her knees ached and her energy was low. Then one morning, she decided to walk to her mailbox. She did it again the next day. Eventually, she was walking around the block. These daily walks didn't transform her life instantly, but they gave her a renewed sense of purpose. She began to feel more alert, less anxious, and proud of her body once more. This isn't about becoming an athlete or chasing intense fitness goals. It's about protecting your ability to live independently. Regular gentle movement helps you maintain the strength to do everyday tasks on your own, like getting out of bed, preparing meals, or watering your plants. These small victories are crucial for a sense of self-reliance and dignity. Moreover, moving your body each day reconnects you with the world around you. A short walk might bring you into contact with a passing neighbor, the warmth of the sun, or the soothing sound of birdsong. These seemingly minor moments have real emotional value. They remind you that you're still connected to life beyond your walls. So move, even just a little, every day, not to impress anyone, but because your body deserves to be honored and cared for, no matter your age. Gentle movement isn't just physical, it's a message of hope and self-respect. It's a quiet affirmation. I'm still here, and I still matter. Number 3, building meaningful connections in small, consistent ways. As you age and begin to live alone, silence often becomes a constant presence. At times, that quiet can feel comforting and peaceful, but on other days it can weigh heavily, bringing a sense of emptiness. You might go hours or even days without hearing someone say your name. Even if you enjoy your independence, too much isolation can slowly erode your emotional health. Many people believe staying socially connected requires a large group of friends, frequent gatherings, or a busy social life. That's not true. Real connection doesn't have to be loud or overwhelming. What truly matters is maintaining consistent, genuine contact with others, however small or brief those interactions might be. A 5-minute phone call, a short chat with your neighbor, or even a friendly exchange with a store clerk can have a surprisingly powerful impact. These small moments serve as reminders that you are still visible, still valued, and still part of a larger world. Science supports this too. Studies show that older adults who maintain even occasional social contact tend to have stronger immune systems, lower rates of depression, and a reduced risk of cognitive decline. This isn't just coincidence. Humans are naturally wired for connection, no matter their age. Emotional ties, even small ones, can be essential for maintaining mental clarity and overall well-being. Consider Richard, an 83-year-old man living alone after his sons moved away. For a time, his only conversations were with doctors during appointments. One day, he left a note on a neighbor's door offering to take care of their mail while they were away. That small gesture sparked a thank you, which led to occasional chats and eventually regular Saturday morning coffee. The change wasn't dramatic, but it gave Richard something meaningful to look forward to, someone who genuinely cared. These kinds of interactions don't require great effort or planning. If there's someone you haven't spoken to in a while, consider giving them a call. If you often wave to a neighbor from a distance, try stopping to ask how they're doing. These simple gestures not only help others feel seen, but they also restore something vital within you. They bring warmth, connection, and a sense of belonging back into your life. Another way to nurture connection is through shared purpose. Many older adults discover renewed meaning by giving back, whether it's reading to children at the local library, mentoring someone younger, or simply listening to someone in need. These experiences affirm that your presence and your story still have value. You might live alone, but that doesn't mean your life exists in isolation. Loneliness isn't defined by how many people you're surrounded by. It's defined by feeling emotionally distant or forgotten. But that feeling can shift with just one conversation, one gesture of kindness, one new habit. Reach out, even if it feels a little uncomfortable at first. Invite someone for a walk, offer to help with something small, or just share a moment over coffee. Staying connected doesn't mean rejecting solitude. It means making sure that solitude remains enriching rather than empty. Because no matter where or how you live, you still deserve to feel close, appreciated, and remembered. Number 4, finding personal purpose, a reason to wake up each day. There's a quiet but powerful challenge many face in later life that often goes unspoken. It's not just about loneliness or physical decline. It's about losing a sense of purpose. After retirement, when the house grows still and people stop relying on you, it can feel as if your role in the world has faded. You might begin to wonder if the most meaningful parts of life are behind you. But that thought is misleading. Purpose doesn't disappear when your job ends or your family becomes more independent. It evolves. And when you live alone, discovering this new form of purpose can be one of the most valuable and transformative things you can do. Your purpose doesn't need to be grand or public. It doesn't need to impress anyone. What matters is that it holds meaning for you. It might be writing letters to your grandchildren, planting a garden, keeping a daily journal, or working on a creative project like restoring a piece of old furniture. It could also be something as simple as checking in with someone each morning, or recording your memories so your loved ones know your story. What these activities have in common is that they create intention in your day. They give you a reason to rise, to act, and to care. That sense of direction adds structure to your life and brings quiet pride to your everyday routine. Consider Samuel, a 79-year-old man living alone in Michigan. After losing his wife, he found himself overwhelmed by the silence in his home. Then one morning, while cleaning his garage, he found an old typewriter. He cleaned it up, brought it inside, and began typing his memories. Stories of his Navy service, how he met his wife, the early days of raising their daughter. He wasn't writing for anyone else, but through this simple act, he discovered peace, meaning, and a sense of connection. Slowly, his home no longer felt so empty. Psychologists have long noted that having a sense of purpose, even a modest one, significantly benefits mental health. It lowers stress, enhances emotional well-being, and is even linked to longer life expectancy. That's because human beings aren't built to simply drift. We're made to aim for something. When your life has purpose, your days aren't just something to get through. They become meaningful. You're not just surviving, you're participating in something that matters, even if it's just for your own growth and fulfillment. Many people forget that living alone can offer something rare, the freedom to explore your own interests without pressure or judgment. This is your opportunity to try new things, revisit forgotten passions, or invest time in activities you've always wanted to explore. Maybe you've always loved music and now have time to play. Maybe you want to paint, cook new recipes, or read through the works of a favorite author. Final thoughts. Growing older and living alone can be one of life's most difficult shifts. The world may seem quieter, more distant, and less connected than it once was. But with the right mindset and daily habits, this phase of life can also become an opportunity to reconnect with parts of yourself that were once pushed aside by years of obligations and noise. If you recognize your own experience in what you've read or heard today, if the silence of an empty home feels heavy, you're far from alone. More importantly, you're not without options. Creating a consistent routine, staying gently active, forming meaningful social connections, and identifying a personal sense of purpose are not just comforting concepts, they are essential strategies. These are the tools that help you maintain emotional balance, protect your physical and mental health, and bring richness back into your everyday life, even if you spend much of it by yourself. So ask yourself, which of these 4 steps spoke to you the most? Are there any you already do? And which one will you begin tomorrow? Even one small change can start to shift how you experience your days for the better. Thank you for spending time with us today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below sharing one takeaway from today and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your feedback means a lot and truly inspires us to keep going. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support helps us continue producing meaningful content designed to inform and uplift. We appreciate you watching, and we look forward to connecting with you again in our next video.